Hello everybody, my name is Shane, and in this video, we're going to be checking out the official Samsung case lineup for the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. These cases range from $70 to $350, and they are available at the time of this video, so I'll have some links down in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. Starting with the book cover keyboard. This one comes in at $350. So this is a two-part case. We have our back portion with the kickstand. There's a big magnet on it, so you can just go and drop this right on the case. It's going to clip right on. And then we have our connector pins on the bottom to attach our keyboard portion. Now this whole package does add a fair amount of weight to it. You can see how much more thickness we get here with this case on, but if we want to drop this on the scale, we're coming in at 3 pounds and 1 ounce, or around 1,400 grams. But even though it adds the added bulk and heft, it adds a ton of functionality and versatility to this tablet. We have a full-size keyboard here, a great size trackpad, and the kickstand on the back is super versatile. Really nice to put this tablet at any angle you want to. And there's a great magnetic connection here of the keyboard portion to the tablet. You can dangle this and the magnetic connection will stay in place. And for a quick point of reference, this is my Tab S8 Ultra's book cover keyboard that I've been using for the past year and a half. And as far as your wear and tear and things, you can take a look here. The case holds up very well. You are going to get little smudges and things like that over time, but it has a great feel to it. There is also a color difference here, similar to the tablets themselves. We have more of a gray graphite color on the Tab S9 Ultra, and then there was definitely more so of a black here on the Tab S8 Ultra book cover keyboard. But then more importantly, as I was preparing for this video, this happened by accident. I didn't even know this was a feature, but you can actually detach this portion of the case. So I can just take this right out if I don't want that. So if you want to have your S Pen always out and exposed, if you don't want to have to use that flap every single time to be reaching for your S Pen, then this is a great option for that. Another change I noticed is that the back flap here for the S Pen, it opens a lot easier. I noticed that on the prior one, I usually had to take a little bit of extra effort and thought to be opening this flap while I have the tablet facing towards me. And for those who aren't aware, this back cover portion has an insane magnetic connection to this tablet. There's no way these two are going to come apart. The only way you can get this to come off is just by clipping it at a top or edge, and then you can just clip it right off. And of course it just clips right back on. Have a nice big magnet here. For nearly my entire ownership of my Tab S8 Ultra, I would always have just at least this back portion on because it's so nice to have that kickstand accessible at all times and to have your S Pen protected. And then you still have a relatively light weight here without the keyboard cover. But then of course we get so much more functionality and versatility and productivity potential with this keyboard attachment that just clips right onto the bottom. And this gives us a great size keyboard, a great size trackpad. It very much feels like a laptop experience, but even better in my opinion because this portion is so slim and flush to the table. So you don't have your wrists resting on a sharp-edged laptop or anything. It's a very comfortable typing experience. Putting these keyboards side by side, you can see here that on the new Tab S9 Ultra keyboard, it sits a little bit higher and the trackpad is also positioned a little higher as well. Compared to the Tab S8 Ultra's keyboard cover, you can see everything sits just a little bit lower and there's also a little bit more of the flappage here compared to the Tab S9 Ultra. It's a little bit more cleaned up on this one. Again, we have that color difference here. Now, the question I've been receiving the most is, does the previous case work on the new tablet? So if we take the Tab S9 Ultra, attaching to the Tab S8 Ultra's case, and we do get a message here. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that message one more time here. The connected keyboard isn't designed for this tablet, so you may get unexpected results. As far as the core functionalities of the keyboard, it does work. I've been able to type on it just fine. The trackpad also works here. See, I can do my scrolling, I can do gestures, switch between my apps and different things. You can see it'll also put your tablet to sleep here, so it'll put it awake and close. The functionality of it does work, but unfortunately, the connection, you can see it's kind of weak. It doesn't really stay connected to it. This is slipping off a lot. It disconnects very easily from the tablet. Now, if we compare that to the Tab S9 Ultra, the connection is really good, snaps in really well. So it is kind of unfortunate that if you do want the Tab S9 Ultra, probably going to have to upgrade to the new one. And what makes it even more unfortunate is that this was a free case given with pre-orders of the Tab S8 Ultra last year as an incentive. And this year so far as I know, there's no incentives on this $350 case. So if you do want this one, you are going to have to shell out that full $350 retail price. But even though this case comes with a lot of sticker shock, it has a great premium feel to it. It has a lot of versatility with the kickstand kickstand. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have a kickstand with this tablet just because it's so big and large. Next up, we have the Bookcover Keyboard Slim. This one comes in at $200, so significantly cheaper than the last one. And it is also $100 off for the next week or so if you pre-order a Tab S9 Ultra off of Samsung's website. So again, I'll have links for that down in the description. Inside the box, you get some pretty fancy packaging with the cases this year. So this case is one piece. Let's go ahead and attach this. Now this one definitely feels lighter. We have 2 pounds, 10 ounces, and just under 1,200 grams. So we're shaving off $200 and 200 grams with this case. However, the front flap does feel a little floppier. It doesn't seem like it'll fall out on itself. It has the same great look and feel as the previous one. We also have the clip portion here. This can come off, and then you can have immediate access to your S Pen if you want that. And we still have the flap here at the top that opens very easily. This S Pen slot also serves as a nice grip if you're holding onto this tablet and you're out and about. Just gives you a little more grip and peace of mind. But the main difference here, in addition to not being able to detach this keyboard portion, is that we just have the single stand option. So here's what it looks like. It's a great angle for if you're just sitting at a desk or countertop and just typing some documents and things. This is how much space it takes up overall on your tabletop. It's much more slim. You can see that this saves a significant portion of space, and our keyboard layout looks to be exactly the same. We have the same exact size of keys. However, I noticed that the key travel is a little bit less on this one. It's not as satisfying of a typing experience as I have on the Bookcover keyboard. It's also unfortunate to see that the backlit keys did not make their way over to this keyboard either. As you can see here on the F12 key, we have that button to increase our keyboard brightness, whereas here on the slim one, you just see that F12 is completely blank. We don't have the backlit keys on this keyboard. Also, this keyboard's deck has more of a plasticky feel to it, and on the standard Bookcover keyboard, we still have the nice soft touch feel as the rest of the case. So we do have some compromises here with this one, but as far as the keyboard itself, still have the same exact keyboard here. We can easily switch over to Samsung DeX still if we want to. Have all the same core functionalities. You just have to decide whether or not you want to have a detachable portion or not. You have to decide if you want a versatile kickstand option or if you're okay with just this single stand option. I think a lot of people can definitely get by without the trackpad portion, considering we obviously have such a great touchscreen here. And of course, we have the S Pen, which can act as a mouse itself for doing various things on your tablet. A very solid case here overall. Next up, we have the SmartBook cover. This one comes in at $100, and this is the origami style case. Now we're back to having a two-part case here. We don't have a keyboard with this one, but we have a nice flap with a great microfiber finish here. So this one does have a slimmer profile because we don't have the keyboard, but interestingly, this one does feel actually kind of heavier than the previous one with the keyboard. Let's check the weight. Yeah, we're at 1,281 grams, so an additional 90 grams or so, 2 pounds, 13 ounces. Now, the first thing I immediately think of when I open this flap here is you could put your own Bluetooth keyboard here. You could connect one to the tablet, and then if you don't want to spend that extra $100 or $250 to get Samsung's keyboard, you could just take your own keyboard and have this nice microfiber working surface. But flipping around back here, take a look at our S Pen slot here. Looks to be the same as the other cases. So again, we can have our S Pen exposed if we want to take that casing off. As far as getting to the S Pen, very easily accessibility once again. Now on this one, we have a nice little extra edge here to go ahead and flap this out. So in your landscape orientation, the stand does sit off to the right, but I found that it still holds up the tablet very well. I have no issues interacting with the screen or anything with it off to the side. But then the primary benefit of this origami style case is we can hold the tablet upright. And this is such an interesting angle and use case here. If you're using this as a secondary monitor as part of your desktop or laptop setup, if you'd want to reference a recipe or something, you could have this upright and be able to read all of your content and information all at once. And if you don't always have room for a wide tablet to be somewhere, having it propped up does help kind of slim down the overall space it's taking up. So this case, I'm seeing a ton of versatility, a lot of new use case options opening up with this one. If we look at this from the front, you can see our little tab here to go ahead and open this up very easily and go ahead and prop this down at a moment's notice. And as far as the magnets on this one, we have a great connection. Once again, all these tablets have really good magnets and connectivity. So I can definitely recommend this case for its overall versatility, functionality, and lower price than the other cases. And last but not least, we have our privacy screen. This one comes in at $70. So this privacy screen is all we get in the box, and we have the same connectors and pins as the other cases. And that clips right on perfectly fine. So you could use a back flap of a different case, and then if you wanted to swap out the keyboard or that microfiber feeling flap, you could get this privacy screen and clip this right on the front alongside your other accessory. Let's go ahead and check the weight here with the privacy screen on. 2 pounds, 10 ounces, and 1,200 grams or so. Now, as the name suggests, this is a privacy screen. So if we tilt this to the left or right, you're going to see that the screen completely blacks out. And this is super nice. Now, if we do it without the privacy screen, you can see here, you can definitely still see all that's going on the screen. You can still obviously interact with your display. As far as your S Pen usage, you can still definitely use your S Pen. It does feel a little different just because you're writing on a plastic surface instead of the normal glass surface on the display. The only downside with this one, though, is that you can't use the fingerprint sensor on the outside of the privacy screen. You have to open it up, then do the fingerprint sensor. So you're going to have to use your face recognition when you have this privacy screen, which that still works great. And even though the price is pretty high on this one, I think it offers a lot of versatility here. We don't have too much sacrifice to the great display that you're going to be looking at yourself. So initially here, really liking the privacy screen. I love that it's not a dedicated screen protector or something that's on the tablet all the time. You can easily detach this if you don't need it. And then when you do need it, it just clips on so easily. Love these new ideas and designs coming to this Tab S9 Ultra. Samsung is also offering another one of these attachment front flaps called the Paper Note cover. So it's going to have a paper-like feeling when you're writing and interacting with the screen. Unfortunately, I could not get my hands on this one. I've been trying to order it for a week now from Samsung directly, and it doesn't seem to be available, and it's sold out at Best Buy. So if that one has the same clips and versatility as this privacy screen, I think that one is also going to be a great recommendation. And there is one other case I wasn't able to get my hands on either. It is a rugged case. I actually saw this one and felt it in person at a Samsung event. It has a very solid feel to it. The kickstand in the back is very robust. You can kind of use it as a handle on the tablet almost. But overall, really liking all of the official Samsung cases and attachments for the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. The book cover keyboard is definitely pricey at $350, but it's something that I used every single day with my Tab S8 Ultra and really enjoyed it. I love the versatility of the origami case and the potential to bring over your own keyboard with it. I love how the slim keyboard takes up a lot less space on the table if that's important to you, and also having a lighter weight. And I love the overall versatility and functionality of the privacy screen. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the official Samsung case lineup for the Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the Shane Simons YouTube channel today, because next up I have my short-term reviews coming on the Galaxy Z Flip 5 and Z Fold 5. And also feel free to check out any of the previous Samsung videos I've made in the last week or so. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.